Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serving Pleasure Podcast. I'm Ethan Jesse.
And I'm Harry Yost.
And this is the podcast where we talk about trashy romance novels.
The best kind of novels, if you ask me, Ethan.
Happy July!
Happy July.
Dating this episode to June. By the time it comes out, it'll be July.
Yes, it will be. Which is amazing. It's already going to be July.
Mm-hmm. But that's all I have to say about that.
Same.
Because I don't know when this is coming out. And I don't want to spoil special things that are going to be happening this week.
No, but there are going to be special things, so everyone, get excited.
Please stay tuned. And it's coming from everyone. Coming from every direction.
Every direction, every direction, every direction, every direction.
So this is Bone Rider, in case you can't tell by the title of the video that you clicked on. So, Harry, what happened in Chapter 5 of Bone Rider? I know we don't normally do this when we do long recording sessions and forget in between chapters, but what happened in Chapter 5?
Oh my god, what didn't happen? So first off, in Chapter 5, we finally met Riley, who is probably going to be our sexual dream come true in Bone Rider. So we meet Riley, who's this badass bartender who's on the run because he's on the run from Misha, his ex, who also, I think, was revealed.
I don't know, we haven't met them. We don't really know anything about them.
We actually don't know anything. All we know is that he's on the run from Misha, and he might have seen this Kolya guy, and he's all like, I'm outie. So as he's driving...
He's just thinking about stuff, really.
He's really thinking about stuff, and then his car, or his truck, kind of stalls. He goes to lift up the hood, and this silvery thing flies at his face and goes down his throat.
That thing is System 6.
That thing is...
Presumably,
most definitely.
My boy.
System 6.
My boy System 6. All right. So with that being said, we can ride right into Bone Rider, Chapter 6. The desk in Misha's office had once been pristine, tidy, and organized.
Oh my god, we are now finally... We were just saying we haven't met Misha yet.
Here they are. Lots of workspace, everything neatly arranged for maximum efficiency. He'd known where everything was at a glance. Hadn't had to think twice before reaching out to grab whatever it was he needed at the time. It was the way he'd been raised. Though, to be honest, the strict discipline of his professional training had only enhanced his natural neat-freak tendencies.
I read that as man-meat for a second.
Man-meat tendencies?
Which would have been better.
Classic nature versus nurture argument. I'm a psych major.
For the record, future employers.
In case you don't know, I'm a psych major. Please give me a job.
Everyone loves employment.
It was the way he'd been raised, though to be honest, the strict discipline of his professional training had only enhanced his natural neat-freak tendencies. It certainly had come in handy once or twice when Riley and he hadn't made it back to the bedroom and ended up fucking right there on the sturdy table.
Oh!
Drenching the antique wood with their sweat and cum. This is interesting. This is very interesting to me, because cum in this book is spelled C-O-M-E.
Yes, I was about to comment on that.
Because I'm very used to seeing it spelled C-U-M.
Same.
And so this is the first time... I wonder, is that the correct, Evan? Is this correct spelling?
I don't know. I think the correct one is C-U-M.
Cum. C-U-M. Cum. Yeah, told myself.
Are we waiting for the Kindle to be like, yes, that is correct. J. Fally made an error in this particular instance.
Okay, Google. What's the right way to spell cum, the sexual kind?
Should I ask Siri right now?
You can look it up. Don't ask Siri. Just Google
Siri, what is the right way to spell sexual cum?
Well, no, because that's not right. Okay.
Let me check on that. Here's what I found on the web for Siri. What is the right way to spell sexual cum?
How to talk to Siri the right way?
I don't think they like the way we're talking to Siri.
I think I just disrespected Siri.
Mad disrespect.
So sorry,
Throwing
Siri. I did
shade.
not mean to do some sexual harassment this evening.
Sorry. Drenching the antique wood with their sweat and cum. Riley had looked gorgeous spread out on the dark mahogany in sweet exhaustion, and smiling like the angel he most definitely wasn't.
Oh my god.
Apparently, Riley had taken Misha's sense of order with him when he'd left, among other things, because right now the desk was an unholy mess. The only thing not buried under maps and reports... Buried? Doesn't matter.
Does it?
Buried under maps and reports about Riley Cooper's possible whereabouts was the phone. Nowadays, Misha got twitchy when he couldn't see his phone. He was staring at it now. willing it to ring. Kolya was overdue, which wasn't like him at all. It didn't worry Misha so much as it made him restless, because if Kolya didn't call, it meant he was too busy, and too busy in this case likely translated to following a lead.
I was doing air quotation marks,
That's
but then
not
I realized that you can't really see those via podcast.
No, you can't.
Sorry, listeners.
You can say open quotes.
Open quotes.
Following a lead. End quote. One more dead end, and Misha was going to do something rash and probably unnecessarily destructive.
Oh, solid.
He couldn't afford to lose his cool, so Kolya... Harry?
Oh, I just accidentally bookmarked that page.
It doesn't, well...
There we go.
Lose his cool. So Kolya had better bring him good news when he finally deigned to report in. None too happy about the forced inactivity, Misha paced around the phone, waiting, strung out on irritation and what he refused to call hope, the knot in his belly getting worse with each passing minute. He didn't remember when he'd last eaten, though he'd vaguely recalled Andre sitting him down with a bowl of oatmeal earlier. Long enough ago so it didn't add to the churning in his stomach. At this rate, Riley was going to give him an ulcer in addition to a headache. Misha didn't do well with passivity. He was a take-charge kind of guy, used to being out in the field, taking action, stirring up shit.
That's what I'm going to put on my resumes. Hey, employers.
I'm a take-charge kind of guy, used to being out in the field, taking action, just,
stirring up shit. I'll stir up all your shit. What shit you got?
Hey, what kind of shit you got? Let me stir that.
I'll stir it. My wooden spoon is at the ready. Listeners, you can't see, but I'm making a stirring motion.
Harry, you have to remember we're doing a podcast. We're not doing a video. If I turned on my laptop camera, this would be a different story.
It would be a different story.
But that's a terrible quality video, so I'm not going to do that. That he couldn't do now in his most personal, most important situation was driving him stark, raving mad. He knew he had to keep a low profile, avoid drawing attention, and in order to do that, he had to stay put and let others do the legwork. But it wasn't easy for him. He glanced at the phone again. It sat on the desk like a sleek, silver bug, taunting him with malicious silence.
Oh my god.
It's just written real
That
well.
phone has more personality than I have. That phone is that is a sassy, sleek, chic phone.
Somebody make a Tinder profile for that phone.
I would swipe right.
The phone. Swipe right on the phone for the phone.
Hey phone, can I have your number? Can I have the 7 digits?
Yeah, all you gotta do is slide up in the contact section.
Yeah. On my phone?
Misha took 2 steps toward it. Stopped. He wasn't going to call Kolya. You don't whistle for your dog when it's hot on a trail. That'd be counterproductive. Misha knew better. He was a professional, or had been, before Riley had come into his life and fucked him up beyond recognition. Foobar.
Oh, hey! And no callback.
I know the callbacks. Best thing that had ever happened to him. Most painful, too. Misha spun around and marched toward the window to stare out into the garden, angry with himself and his weakness. He knew he had to stop this obsession, stop thinking about Riley, about the look in Riley's eyes when he'd come through that door and seen Misha for who he really was. They'd had a good time, all right, but they were over now. He had to get his shit together and... Beep! The phone beeped.
Oh, my goodness.
Misha was back across the room, had snatched it up, and was answering before the machine had a chance to utter a second beep. Speak to me.
I was really hoping it was going to be more Russian than that.
No, well, he's been in America for how long?
Okay, that's fair.
Speak to me. Is that better?
I liked it.
Well aware of Misha's current stress level, Kolya betrayed no sign of surprise at either the promptness of his response or his tone.
I found him.
And that's why I didn't do it. Because I wanted it to not sound campy. Because I wanted this book to be cool and good. No, you do whatever you want.
No,
I'm not Terry. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
I'll make Kolya sound cool.
All right, let's see what that sounds like.
Okay.
Kolya betrayed no sign of surprise at either the promptness of his response or his tone.
I found him. Was that cooler? No. So I used to talk about...
Just do it. I found him. You were right. His objectives. Am I just going to take Kolya now?
Oh, I didn't even know you were reading real words.
No, I am.
You were right.
He reported. Oh, shit.
I found him.
He reported.
You were right. He's in Texas.
No surprise there. Texas was Riley's home ground. The trouble so far had been that it was a lot of home ground, and Riley was much more familiar with it than Misha and his men. It was a needle in a haystack sort of problem. Where exactly is he? Misha demanded, already on his way to the bedroom to collect his traveling bag. The silence on the other end of the line was brief, but worrisome.
He was in San Antonio, working at a bar.
Kolya said. Misha picked up on the careful phrasing immediately and stopped in the middle of the hallway to glare at the device in his hand. Was?
He spotted me.
Misha's fingers tightened on the phone until the casing creaked ominously. He spotted you. Riley had met Kolya only once or twice, but he was good at remembering people. Shitty when it came to names, but faces? Recognizing Misha's left-hand man from just a glance in a crowd after having seen him a couple of times in passing was apparently no challenge. Misha hadn't realized Riley was that observant. He should have. After all, he'd made it his personal mission to study the man, figure him out, discover all his little quirks and habits. So where is he now?
Gone!
If Misha hadn't known Kolya so well, he would have started yelling then. As it was, he took a deep breath and held it until he was calm enough to talk at a reasonable volume. Kolya was good at what he did, but debriefing him was like pulling teeth. Gone where?
West!
Kolya said, as though it had been obvious. Misha gritted his teeth. You sure?
I saw him take the ramp to the I-10, but I lost him in traffic. Everybody on their babushkas driving a pickup here. Could be he's going somewhere else, but I'm thinking he's running west. Boy's a desert rat.
We're gonna click that footnote on
Yeah,
babushka?
we are. Babushkas.
J. Fally, what's it say? Babushka.
Grandmother. Oh, look at that.
I
just-
kinda knew what it was, but I'm glad that J. Fally told me.
See, I always thought like, yeah, I did too. J. Fally, now I just feel like my knowledge is more official because I had your footnote educate me in the ways of babushkas.
I went to college, I would never have known what babushka meant.
I never would
until
have.
I read Bone Rider.
I also really like the idea of it's Riley driving on the I-10 surrounded by grannies and their Cadillacs and their Lincolns. Oh, you're handsome,
No,
man!
it's the Mad Max grandmas. They're all on motorcycles and they got like crossbows and guns and stuff.
That would be pretty badass.
That's what I want. That's
what it is, actually.
Bone Rider is probably based on Mad Max loosely, even though it came out before the new movie. It's based on the old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mad Max is really just based
Based
on
on
Bone
Bone
Rider.
Rider. But they took out System 6 because it couldn't be too crazy.
Right, like...
They couldn't have the movie be perfect.
No, I mean, they needed something to make it, you know...
It had to be digestible to, like, regular audiences.
Right, like, it had to be still a summer blockbuster hit, because didn't it come out in the summer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it still had
Last
to...
year?
It had to appeal to the summer crowd. He's all like...
Oh, I think it came out almost exactly a year ago now.
Wow!
Dating the podcast.
Well... Good thing we're reading Bone Rider now. It's the anniversary of Mad Max.
I want to watch Mad Bone Rider.
I also want to watch Mad Bone Rider. It's just Tom Hardy as Bone Rider.
He can play it.
He
as
would
long as I
play
can
it.
play System 6. Could you take it
Yeah.
back from could be he's going somewhere else?
Yes. Could be he's going somewhere else, but I'm thinking he's running west. Boy's a desert rat.
He had a point there. Misha smiled, throwing out a challenge. Can you find him again? Kolya had hawked and spit in reply, which transmitted just fine through the phone.
I'll keep you posted.
He grunted, when he was sure his displeasure at the implied insult had been received and understood. Do that, Misha told him, and snapped the phone shut, only to almost drop it in surprise when it started to vibrate in his hand. He's got a Motorola Razr.
Oh. I remember being so jealous of the kids in junior high when they had Motorola Razrs.
I had a pink Motorola Razr, but I had a case on it that was a mirror.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it looked like System 6.
Even back in the day.
Even back in the day,
You
I
were
was
just prepping
destined-
for this
I
moment.
was destined to
Yes,
read
you
Bone
were.
Because that's what hindsight bias is. I was a psych major.
I was about to say, I was like, psychology major for the record.
He glanced at the caller display and groaned. Fucking wonderful. As though he didn't have enough problems already.
Please be his mom. Please be his mom.
He flicked the phone open again, reluctantly, as he wandered back towards the office, knowing he was going to want to sit down for this conversation. Much as he loved his family, they tended to drive up his blood pressure. Papa,
Close enough.
he said in greeting, trying not to let the man hear how desperately he did not want to speak with him. Vasily Tokarev was a
what a
contrary
name.
old bastard. I wish I could have someone confirm how to pronounce that. It's going to bother me. Vasily Tokarev
It sounds great.
was a contrary old bastard. If he realized his son didn't want to talk, he'd take great pains to draw out the conversation for as long as he possibly could. Misha must have succeeded in masking his lack of enthusiasm, though, because his father seemed cheerful enough when he replied with a hearty, "Ho, Misha! How are you, son?"
Nice.
There you go.
I liked
There's
it.
Horosho!
Oh my god, it's what I've been waiting for.
Good. Misha lied and plopped down onto the desk chair. He had a feeling this was going to be a lengthy talk no matter what. "How are you? How's the family?" "Fine, fine," Vasily said. Misha didn't like how that sounded because he knew his father and he could tell something was up from the way he was trying to be so goddamn casual. "Your sister, she finished checking the books," Vasily told him, still too damn genial for Misha's peace of mind. His heavy Russian accent was lulling in its familiarity. It conjured the ghost of blood-stained fairy tales riding through the dark on vodka-scented breath.
Oh, I can see why this
I
one
can
is...
see why that one was underlined.
I want to see... Let's see.
That's how many people underlined that.
Four people.
The same four people.
The same 4 people that... I can't remember what that other... Oh, he was
There's
like a
some-
tumbleweed.
Yeah,
Riley
yeah.
was like a tumbleweed.
This one's better than that.
This one is awesome.
I just want to read that one again. It conjured the ghost of a blood-stained fairy tales riding through the dark on vodka-scented breath. Ah!
What does that say about his
It's good.
dad?
It's like the most thick Russian accent. I'm not doing it justice, which makes me sad.
Well, we all know I would definitely not do it justice. Everyone should just be thanking someone up above, being like, "Thank you, Russian gods, for not having Harry take the Russian chapter," because my accent would be like, "Oh, where is the vodka? I am Vasily Tokarev."
Oh, stop.
I'm gonna stop. now.
That's for the other two. The other two handle that.
Yeah, the other
level
two
of
handle that.
racism.
See, I can't
I'm
branch into that.
I'm trying to do it with like a little bit of style, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be Boris from a video game.
Oh, that's okay. I would probably accidentally turn into Borat at some point, but I haven't even seen Borat.
I just like that I put my hands on my stomach.
You
every
do.
time
You kind
I-
of
I
are like
fight.
Russian Santa.
Ho!
I also love the idea. I mean, I think that Santa very well could be a mob boss. So
That's true.
maybe Vasily.
All right, hold up. Vodka scented breath. She's good. She really is. Surprises me every time, our little Mari. She's smart for a woman. Very, very smart.
Wow.
It's the Times. This is current day.
This is current day. It's fine. It's the mob.
Very, very smart. She was, though Misha would never understand why she bothered using those smarts to support their father. It didn't matter how intelligent Maria was, how dedicated, or how efficient. She was a woman. Worse, she was their father's daughter. And that fact alone forced her to the sidelines, despite being much more invested in syndicate matters than Misha. Well, they saved it. They saved her real good.
Yeah.
Good job, Jay. Other
They
women,
did.
other women might be taught to fight, to shoot, and yes, to kill, but they were a different breed in Vasily's eyes. They were boy babas. Harry, please click that. footnote.
Okay. Cool. I was confused because what was coming? Boy babas.
Boy baba, virago, battle axe, also shrew, literally fight woman.
I also because lit is such a slang.
It's lit.
Lit flight woman. I like that.
A lit flight woman. Other women might be taught to fight, to shoot, and yes, to kill, but they were a different breed in Vasily's eyes. They were boy babas, soldiers, lower-class fighters who had nothing in common with his little princess. Maria was lucky to be allowed access to the paperwork part of the business.
Dang.
Misha, on the other hand, never had a choice in the matter. Though luckily he had the right temperament for this kind of work. He was fast, strong, and ruthless, passed every test with flying colors, but he didn't feel particularly passionate about what he did. If he hadn't been his father's son, the only son, the firstborn, he'd have done something else and never worried about it. Maria, though. Maria was a leader. She had the brains for it and the determination to get shit done. The only thing she was lacking was one measly Y chromosome.
I am so into Misha right now. At first I was like, Misha, you kind of sound like a crazy stalker, but the way you just talked about his sister, I'm like,
The fact that every character in this has been fleshed out this much, even his dad for only appearing for like a brief amount of time, we're still learning a lot about him. Even Maria, who we've never even heard from.
Right, exactly. Like, we know that Misha's dad is Russian Santa. Thank you, Ethan.
You know, we don't know about Kolya.
We don't know about Kolya.
He's good at his job. Well, apparently everyone here is good at their job.
Right. But maybe by us not knowing about Kolya, we're knowing everything that we need to know about Kolya.
That's a really cool way to think about it, and I hope that's the way we're supposed to.
Yes. Same. Jay Fally, don't tell us any more about Kolya.
Tell. We need nothing more.
Nothing more.
Had Misha not been so distracted by his own problems, he might have called his father on his unthinking sexism for the nth time.
Oh, yeah!
Knowing it'd lead nowhere, but unwilling to ignore the man's archaic attitude. As it was, he merely grunted an affirmative and reached out to snag the edge of the Texas road map half buried under a heap of printouts. I-10. I-10 West.
Your mother. She sends her regards.
Vasily continued, oblivious to his son's preoccupation.
She is working very hard right now.
He paused for effect, which was lost on Misha, who was busy scanning the map. Then, Vasily dropped his bomb.
She is preparing your engagement party. It is on Friday.
Wait a fucking minute! I love that sentence.
That's... Wait a fucking minute! All italicized, all one word.
Yep.
Misha straightened in his chair, finger still on the blue line of the interstate.
You're not funny,
he told his father.
Good,
Vasily shot back.
because I am not joking.
Oh, what a comeback!
This is a cool interaction
This
for
is.
being nothing.
Oh my god.
Misha's unoccupied hand tightened around the phone once again.
I told her to cancel the damn party. I'm not coming. Your mother wants you to meet your fiancé. I want you to meet your fiancé. Your fiancé wants to meet you. So we are having a party, and you will be there, Mikhail.
Oh, I used to have the biggest crush on this boy named Mikhail in high school. Oh my god, Bone Rider bringing me back.
Giving you the
Keep
vapors.
reading, Ethan. Mikhail, please never listen to this. It'd be so embarrassing if you found out.
Mikhail, please listen to this. It'll be fun. Email us at servingpleasurepodcast@gmail.com and let me know how you feel.
Yeah, and let me know how you also feel, Mikhail, all these years later.
Only tell me. Vasily's tone brooked no argument, which he might have cowed under most of his underlings, but sure as hell didn't impress Misha.
No, I fucking won't. I didn't want a fucking fiancé.
Misha snapped, finally giving up on the map to focus all his attention on his father.
I didn't choose to have my fucking fiancé. That was all Mama's idea. She did the same shit to Mari, and I don't think I forgot how that worked.
To call it tag teaming was sugarcoating it. Anna Tokarev and her husband had emotional blackmail down to an art form.
I'm not gonna marry her. No way, no how. You want more heirs? Feel free to tell Mari 2 perfectly fine daughters aren't enough. You are the firstborn,
Vasily reminded him predictably.
It is your duty to marry to keep the bloodline going. You do realize I'm gay, right?
Misha countered, discarding his usual line of argument in favor of the big guns. He was not going to New York to make nice with Anika Romasko, when Riley was almost within reach. The girl wanted to marry Syndicate? Fine, but she was not going to marry Misha. Misha had other plans. They involved a specific person, even if that person might need a bit of persuading once he'd stopped running. There really was no time to lose, and Misha was willing to use whatever methods necessary to get out of his parents' most recent honey trap. Fuck, this is just fucking cool. I need to take a second, because I feel like I'm getting too invested, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to stop and pause for a breath again.
I love Bone Rider. I know.
Have we said this enough?
If in case you were all confused, or if in case you all forgot,
We love Bone Rider.
we love Bone Rider. This is so cool. And also, I like how it really does make it sound like, you are the firstborn, we need heirs. Misha, are you secretly some prince?
No.
Somehow?
It's a mafia thing.
Is it really? Oh, is it like The Godfather? I haven't seen The Godfather, but I know what happens in The Godfather.
Well, most mafia fiction deals with like keeping it in the family and stuff. It's the same thing as royalty. You like wouldn't want to pass it on to someone else because you
Right.
trust your own blood better than you trust anyone else.
Amazing.
It's just cool that they would go that far
Oh my god, it's so cool.
to flesh out this side story. Unless it's the main plot, I don't know. We'll see. Vasily, far from being shocked, only snorted disdainfully.
No, you're not. I've seen you with plenty of girls.
You hiring hookers for my birthdays
Oh!
doesn't change facts. Face it, I'm queer.
Oh.
Fight the power.
He hired hookers for his birthday. What a mob thing.
Yeah.
Sounding thing.
Also, kind of taken. Provided he could corner Riley long enough to talk or fuck some sense into.
Oh my god.
Right, there's a sentence that I was looking for. There's the erotic novel stuff.
Yep.
Because that, like, no matter how cool it sounds, is still gonna be a little bit silly.
Yes. The other thing is, this is building up so well that when they finally do have their confrontation, we all know the sexual tension will make
Lay it on thick.
so thick, my Kindle will be like, I can't see through the thick sexual tension fog.
You just have to.
Like, my Kindle will just keep fogging up and we'll have to wipe it clear.
You're gonna have to wipe it. I'm not gonna touch it.
I'll touch it.
It's yours.
I'll take one for the team. I'll touch my belongings. Not again.
It's never gonna stop. The amount of dairy that I consume is not healthy. Of course, facts had never stopped Vasily Tokarev from forming his own opinions.
You fucked at least one of those girls.
He reminded Misha, a note of triumph in his voice.
What was her name again? Darla? Bambi? The brunette. Legs up to here. Not much of a rack, though.
Misha rolled his eyes and let his head thump against the chair's high wooden backrest.
His name was Jace. He was a transvestite. I'm still hoping Anton didn't realize that when he hired him. Thump. Thump. Also, I was 16. I was desperate.
And Jace had been very sweet, if not Misha's usual type.
So what?
Vasily said, unmoved by logic, though he did sound a tad uncomfortable with the issue now.
He looked like a girl, which means that your equipment works with girls.
Oh.
That's all that's required.
That's science.
It's science to Vasily Tokarev.
Yes.
I'd watch it.
Oh my god, it could be like a Maury show, like a daytime.
Dr. Oz?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Dr.
And Ellen.
Oz, Vasily Tokarev, they're the same show.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a girl, which means your equipment works with girls. That's all that's required. Fuck her, knock her off, keep a boy toy on the side. I don't care. She won't care. She comes from... Oh, shit.
What?
Oh, here we go.
I'm ready for you to pronounce this.
Ismailovskaya. Ismailovskaya.
There we go.
Stuck. She knows how to be a good wife. Sometimes his father drove Misha so crazy he wanted to scream, and I can't pronounce Misha's name right now.
Well, how can you pronounce anything after...
Ismailovskaya.
Nope.
At one time, and then I did it with a twinge of Italian. That's not what it is.
Hey, it's okay. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Spagooty.
Spaghetti spaghetti.
Spagooty. The one that's hard to slurp.
Spaghetti. The bone that's hard to ride.
Yay.
But you will ride the bone.
We will all ride the bone.
We're getting off key now.
Now we are. Well, I'm always off key. Let's be real. You listen to my voice.
Well, here's the thing. I have no idea if I'm on key because, first of all, my voice is shot right now, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. That's okay. I have allergies up to here right now.
We're
so
surrounded by dogs.
I am surrounded by dogs. Yeah, listeners, today's a change of animal pace. We're surrounded by dogs instead of cats.
Oh, shit, we're running kind of long. I should probably hurry up.
Okay.
Sometimes his father drove Misha so crazy he wanted to scream, or bash in his own head instead of merely giving himself a headache. It was usually this kind of conversation that started it, when Misha tried to explain why he didn't intend to do something, and Vasily waved aside everything as he said it didn't matter at all. As though Misha was a stupid kid who couldn't make his own decisions, not a man leading the field in one of the most dangerous professions there was. Though he had to admit it, his father didn't do this to him when it came to the job. It was the family stuff that was killing Misha. The guilt trips, carefully engineered by his mother. The games of one-upsmanship, instigated by his sister. The exercises in frustration conducted by his father. The expectations and demands hitting his soft underbelly from all sides.
I'm exhausted listening to that.
It was useless to keep arguing on a personal level. Experience had taught Misha that his only chance lay in citing the business reasons.
Even if I wanted to come, which I don't, I can't.
He looked back at the map. wondering how far Riley had run in the time Misha had wasted in disagreement. I told you about the situation down here. It's not resolved yet, but we got a new lead. Another week, maybe 2. We'll talk about the party then.
Ah, yes.
Vasily rumbled, disapproval heavy in his tone.
That Suka of yours who ran away with your hard drive.
Ooh,
What's
Suka.
Suka bitch!
Traitor whore. Damn. Don't go calling people Sukas.
Suka.
That Suka of yours who ran away with your hard drive. Flash drive.
Misha corrected automatically. He didn't defend Riley's honor, mostly because the insult was meant to provoke him. And Misha wasn't about to fall for such an uninspired ploy, but also because calling Riley Cooper a bitch was so damn ridiculous, it simply didn't deserve a reaction.
We've been over this, Papa.
More than once, actually, but Misha was used to repeating himself. His father could be remarkably passive-aggressive when he chose to be. Anything he didn't want to hear, he tended to forget. Of course, Misha never hesitated to remind him.
Riley was in a hurry. He took my bag. The damn flash drive was in the inside pocket. It's encoded. He can't do anything with it. But I can't let him run around with that kind of data in his possession. So I'm sorry, but this is important. I'm not flying to New York until it's resolved. You taught me better than that.
I understand, Vasily said. And Misha would have relaxed then had he not smelled a butt coming.
It's a good thing you are so diligent in this matter. I respect that. But your mother has been working very hard to organize this party, Misha. She deserves to have it. She will have it. This data thing must be back in your possession by Friday, so you will be able to attend.
3 days, Misha protested, tensing.
That's not enough time to... If you don't have enough manpower, I can send Anton and his men.
Vasily interrupted. It sounded like a sincere offer. It was. It was also a serious threat to Riley's life and Misha's authority.
That won't be necessary.
Misha realized he was crumpling the Texas map in his fist and let go of it with an effort.
I clean up my own messes. Glad to hear it,
his father said, pleased.
We'll see you Friday. Be there in time for lunch. We'll discuss the details then.
Misha's mouth tightened rebelliously, but he swallowed his anger and didn't argue again.
I'll call you when I have the flash drive, he replied, dodging the issue. Tell Mom I said hi, okay? Friday, Vasily repeated, a note of warning ringing through.
Friday, Misha confirmed reluctantly.
Bye, Papa. Take care, son.
And then there was a blessed silence. Other than the dog clearly drinking water over there. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's kind of funny.
It is pretty funny.
Misha closed the phone carefully. He put it on the table, then let his head thunk down on the map next to it. 3 days. Fuck. This was the kind of thing that could drive a man to drink.
Oh, man.
End of chapter 6.
Not only does it drive a man to drink, it drives a dog to drink. Tilda was so stressed out. She was like, how does Misha have 3 days?
Tilda's over there getting the vapors. She's not prepared.
Tilda was like, I
Sorry,
don't know.
Tilda is a small chihuahua-looking dog.
Like a Quasimodo chihuahua.
She always looks like she's pooping.
She always looks like she's pooping.
Alright, good. Yeah, that was a good chapter. I don't have anything else to say. We really delved into Misha's character, which we had been complaining that we hadn't seen. We got so much more of Misha's character than I think we actually got of Riley.
We definitely did. Well, because with Misha's character, we were able to see his interactions with his dad, and then because of that familial interaction.
Because that tells a lot about a character, the way that they interact.
Yes. But we do know from Riley's chapter that Riley doesn't have much of a family.
That's true. He's the lone wolf trope character.
Yes.
Which, is expected of his, was he bartender?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a bartender.
He's a bartender persona.
What I am very curious to learn is because Misha said something along the lines of, as I'm flipping back in the chapter, I'm like, I feel like I'm doing this whole analysis of this now. Okay, so when he's saying that, the look in Riley's eyes when he'd come through that door and seen Misha for who he really was.
We'll definitely get there. Like I could see that very cinematically framed
I can
as like an
too.
old sepia filter type thing where you see Riley fling open the door and there's like a shadowy figure of Misha doing something, but we don't know what it is. We just see
Right.
Riley's face, like the camera zooms up on him. The door shuts and slams behind him, and then you don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens.
But we'll see. And I wonder whose narrative that's going to be through. System 6. System 6 is going to probe into Riley's memory banks and see what happens.
And
That's
then
my
through
prediction.
that, System 6 would be like,
Yo,
Riley.
what's the deal with this?
Or he'd be like, Riley, I'm so sorry that you went through this. How would I make you feel better?
And then he starts jerking him off from the inside.
From the inside, just wreaking havoc on that bartender body.
Sorry, there was only one song in this episode. We usually do more.
Hey, but you know what? It happens.
I think that's it for chapter 6.
I think that's it.
Harry, I don't have the energy to scream out a bye because, as you can hear, my voice is very strained right now. Misha's voice hurt me. I was yelling all day at rehearsal today, and it hurts. So if you could please end the podcast.
Bye! Oh my gosh. That was so exciting.